Happy day, Simplifiers.
The people out there, I have to just go right into the cat blanket. What's the cat blanket about?
This office is cold. This office gets very cold. So I decided one day, because apparently the people I work with are quite warm-blooded.
Normal.
Cold-blooded?
Normal
warm-blooded?
Human beings are warm-blooded.
Well, whatever it may be. It might be just the shift from me coming here from Denver. Some sort of climate thing. But I get really cold. No one turns down the AC.
It's 74 degrees. It's set at 74 degrees right now.
I just bring in my cat blanket.
So Halima's wearing a cat blanket with, turn around real quick, 94 cats on it. The cat faces. They're just faces of cats. They're pretty, admittedly, they're pretty cute.
And we're trying to keep things simple. So why would I go through all the work calling the building manager people
who are right next door to our space? There I see them every day.
Telling them to come unlock our little thermostat.
You've already asked them if they'll let you have cats in the building. It's not like you don't talk to them ever.
They said no.
I know.
But they also said
that's because we're negotiating a lease. So they also said what?
Yes. They also said, I guess as long as we don't know, it's okay. So the first step is me getting a cat.
Yeah, and then in the space we're gonna have carpet in the space. So I don't want a cat in there with carpet.
He'll be potty trained.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's move on.
Yes, okay. So
I'm not wearing a cat blanket.
So what are we talking about today, Jared?
So I've got something we can talk about today.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Everybody's excited. I can tell.
Of course.
I can feel it. So I'm working with an agent right now. Mm-hmm. And so he calls me, and he wants some additional help. So he calls me on my cell. I call him back at the end of the day. We're talking, and he has a hard time keeping his people. So he's a 3-year agent. He's gone through almost 30 team members in 3 years. It seems like a lot. There's a lot of agents out there that have gone through 30 team members in 3 years. Believe it or not, it's pretty common.
How large is his average team, though?
How large is his team? 3 people.
3 people, okay.
So that's a great question, right? So you got the turnover per position available.
Yeah.
So it's 10. So it's 3 a year per position, basically, is what that amount. If you have 3 people, 30, 3 years, it's basically 3.33, right? Great question. Okay, so his average position gets turned over 3.33 times a year. Anyway, so I asked him to tell me more about the issue, and of course he thinks it's compensation. That's what everybody thinks. I probably haven't figured out how to pay him right, which I'm always like, time out. It's not how you pay. It's the fact that you think that a compensation plan manages your team for you. It's you. So usually if you think it's compensation, that means it's you, because you're not taking responsibility for your team. You're hoping a tool will do it for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I actually met with him on this topic. I had him come into, now that we have an office, I had him come into the office. It's great. So I said, come in the office.
Free tours.
Yeah, free tours. Come into the office and we'll talk about it. So we went through the plan and went through his team, and we looked at how he's paying everybody, and we did compensate. We did this super hour-long analysis and broke it down to the nth degree. But at the end of the day, he was only paying his team 11. The sales team is supposedly the people who make him the most money. Profit centers, right? $10 an hour. Right? That's bad.
I know who you're talking about. Yikes.
Okay. So $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. He was making a lot of money, and his team was making nothing.
So of course, you're going to have people who are
it's going to be harder for sure. I mean, I still think that I know that the agent or the manager is who motivates the team, but you got to pay them enough so that they're not worried about money at least.
But that's not the driving issue.
No.
Or the driving factor, of course.
No. But if I'm making $10 an hour, I probably don't feel valued by the manager either, because they're not paying me enough. Anyway, so at the end of the day, we came to, you got to pay your team more. So he's going to pay his team an extra $500 a month per person. So he goes back to his office. I give him this whole strategy on how to announce this here's our goals for the year. Mm-hmm. Here's exactly how you all are going to contribute to the goals. We're going to break them down by day and activities, and it's going to be easy. And I'm going to give you guys $500 more, so what I told him was, I said, you're going to give him $500. Don't just give him $500. So tie it to something. Give it to him. but have them come to you and say what they're going to do differently to earn that $500. Right. So, like, for example, if you made $10 an hour, I'd be like, and you wanted more, I'd say, I'll give you more, but tell me what you're going to do differently to bring the value for that. Mm-hmm. Even though he's underpaying him already, it's still a good conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you give your team, if you want to give your team something, you should always ask them. You should always just be like, what do you want to do different? I'm going to give this to you, but I want you to tell me what you're going to do differently. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it kind of puts it on them. It's not just free money anyway. So he went back, talked to his team, told them. One guy was really excited. The other guy's like, that's great, but I really need $750. I really want $750, not $500. So he called me. He's like, what do you think I should do with the guy? He's been working for me for $10 an hour. I give him $500, ask him to tell me what he's going to do different, and all he can do is say, actually, I need $750.
Huh.
So now we don't give advice. Hashtag, this is asterisk. We don't give legal advice. Let's make that really clear here. Nor do we ever recommend a hire or a termination.
Or, yep.
Ever.
Never.
We don't do that.
It's as simple as that.
So I just told him that. And that's all I said. But the point, I guess, that situation covers a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, pay your team well, and pay them what they're worth, what you think they're worth. If you give them, what he wasn't doing he wasn't giving them clear, concise goals that they needed to hit that on a weekly or monthly or daily basis that would help him get a profit.
Yeah.
I walked him through how to calculate what they're worth, then decided what they need to contribute. If they did that over the course of the year, what would the office make? And then we're able to pay them more, because if they did that over the course of the year, the office would make more. So we're able to pay them more. And then if you're going to give your team something, just ask them for them to, what's a commitment on your part? Hey, I'm going to pay you more money because you're worth more money. What are you going to do differently?
Yeah.
Done. And then if someone says, I want more money than that, then I can't give you advice on terminating or hiring a person.
And that's
all. And it's as simple as that.
3 steps or less.
3 steps or less.
Simple as that.
So I am going to go out and buy a cat blanket now because I think it's awesome. But I like cats. No, I like cats.
Yes.
I like all animals. Asterisk. Jared loves all animals.
Yeah.
But if I were to get a blanket with something on
cats?
it, no, it wouldn't have cats.
Oh.
It'd have oysters.
Because you like food?
No. Live oysters swimming in the ocean.
Oh.
They don't swim, actually. Do oysters swim? I don't think they swim. I think they just kind of walk around on the ground, like crawl, like snails on the ground.
I think, like, if you threw them in the water, they would just, like, sink.
They'd sink, yeah. And then they'd get to the ground, and then the oyster would come out of the shell and, like, do the whole molasses thing.
But then what about the shell?
It comes out of the shell, like a snail.
Eventually?
No, that's how it moves around.
But then where does it find another shell?
No, it just comes out of the shell. The shell opens up, it comes out, and it moves.
Oh, okay.
And then if you, like, come around it goes back in its shell.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Oyster. So the point of that, and none of that all of that could be wrong, by the way. But the point of that is
hashtag Google.
Be like an oyster.
Be like an oyster.
If you're an insurance and financial services professional and you're ready to simplify your business, be like an oyster. 3 steps or less. Bam, I'm out.
Simplify. I don't understand the oyster thing.